Hey there, Kaga here. Are you looking to improve your skills at your favorite video games, but you don't know where to start? Don't worry, I've got you covered. In this video, we'll go over some tips and tricks on how to become a better gamer without trying too hard. Let's start with tip number 1. Practice, practice, practice. The first tip is the most obvious tip, and it's to simply practice the game as much as possible. The more you play, the more you'll familiarize yourself with the controls, map layouts, and the overall mechanics of the game. But don't just play aimlessly. Try to focus on those specific areas where you feel like you need improvement. Maybe you struggle with aiming, or maybe you have trouble positioning yourself in team-based games. Whatever it is, try to identify your weaknesses and work on them. You may ask, but Kaga, I already know how to play my game. To that, I'd say focus on playing the game in a more decisive and thoughtful manner. By this, I mean stop reloading out of cover, stop running it down mid, and by all means, stop thinking you're the best player on the team, because chances are you're not, and maybe the other players on your team are just having an off game. That takes me to tip number 2, which is to take breaks and stay focused. It's always important to remember that video games are meant to be a form of entertainment, not just a source of stress. Don't be afraid to take breaks when you're starting to feel off. And if you're having a bad couple of games, maybe just try taking a step back from the game, calm yourself down, and refocus. Taking breaks will help you come back with a clearer mind and a sense of renewed focus. It's also a good idea to remove any distractions when you're playing the game, such as moving your phone out of line of sight or silencing those pesky Discord notifications. This will help you stay focused and avoid any unnecessary interruptions. On to tip number 3. Watch and learn from the pros. Another great way to improve is to watch and learn from the top skilled players in your game. Many professional gamers stream their gameplay here on YouTube or on Twitch, and there's also tons of other tutorials and guides available here on YouTube. In the future, I'd like to be your one-stop source to all things gaming, but it's a great idea to learn from various kinds of players because there's not just one way to go about winning a game. Pay attention to how the pros approach different situations and try to replicate their strategies in your own games. Just make sure to find those players who have a similar playstyle to you. There's no point in trying to copy someone who has a completely different playstyle as you. Maybe you're not the best at aiming. Try to focus on your gameplay of how your particular game flows. Maybe you want to push, maybe you want to be pushed. And if your aim is on point, try and focus on supporting your team or push yourself into those difficult situations to harden your skills. All in all, you need both aim and brain in order to win more games and work your way to where you want to be. Tip number 4 is to just play with a team. If you're playing a team-based game, trying to find a group of like-minded people to play with regularly is a great idea to get better. Not only is it more fun to play with friends, but it also helps to have a group of people you can discuss strategies with and learn from. Plus, it can give you an added motivation to get better than all your friends. But keep in mind, communication is key in team-based games, so make sure to use your microphone or any in-game chat functions to coordinate a strategy with your team. And some quick extra tips I'd like to give you and cover more in depth in the future is to think about what the enemy is doing and what you would do in their position. Think about their positioning to their team, or their health, or ammo count, because they probably know something you don't, and you don't want to be caught by surprise because suddenly the person you decided to push was actually falling back to their teammates. And the last thing I'd like to mention quickly is don't just think that aim trainers or one YouTube video is going to suddenly make you better at the game. It takes time and a better understanding of the game than you did before in order to get the rank or KD you desire. And that's pretty much it. These were just a few quick tips on how to improve at most video games in a simplified manner. Remember to practice, watch and learn from the pros, take breaks, and play with your friends. With some dedication and effort, you'll be well on your way to becoming a better gamer. Good luck, and I hope to see you again.